yes. I see. Good news, everyone!
We are getting a focus on the Winter War. Finally, Finland is getting the love and attention it deserves, along with that very impactful conflict with the Soviet Union. More details on that later. 2, we are looking at Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and obviously Finland getting some national focuses and getting a bit of a rework each. And I am very much looking forward to see what happens with those countries. Sweden is the richest and most powerful. They will primarily focus on trying to stay neutral while also pumping out as many guns and ammunition as possible to probably feed the Axis war machine, because I think that's what Sweden did. Then we have Norway, who got trampled and then had some very successful resistance, so that went well. And then there's Denmark, who lasted all of 4 hours, but did manage to shoot at 1 tank. So not really sure how all of those trees are gonna pan out, but those are a sideshow, with maybe the exception of Sweden that might be interesting. Finland. Finland is the meat and potatoes of this expansion, but I'll talk about them in a minute. There's also some minor details being added. Specific countries, I don't know if this goes for all nations, but there will be ways to customize the arms industry of your country. Military industrial organizations will offer new ways to streamline production lines or develop high-performance weapons with advantages on the battlefield. Think of Sweden. Sweden is a good example, as is Belgium with its FN factories. Sweden with the Bofors system, or the Carl Gustaf systems. And these are examples of how the military industrial complexes of your specific nation can be tailored in a certain direction. Then there's also the new international market, where you can basically become Lord of War. You can be Nicolas Cage and arm the world. You could be an arms exporting powerhouse. You sell guns to other nations in return for civilian factories, which does offer some very spicy opportunities for countries that do have the means to make guns, just don't really have the economy to grow. There are also some updates and changes coming to the design and organization of military divisions, including some customization for special forces and other divisions. Note, I'm being very specific to say this. Arjo did mention this is not an infantry unit designer. So this is different, but we'll see that later. And of course, new art and music coming. But now, Finland and its focus tree. I'll try and keep this short. It's a massive, massive, massive dev diary. Please go read it yourself for all the details. I'm not gonna highlight everything in this video. It will be like a 45 to an hour long video. Nobody wants that. So Finland has been reworked gloriously, and we can see here at the very basic level, new country leader, and Sisu's been nerfed. Great start. So what does that mean for Finland? Well, let's take a look at the country leader first. They explain why this is a new guy. This is the president instead of the, I think it was the prime minister first. But these country leaders will have various traits, as they all do, but also personal agendas. And those personal agendas tie into a system called public trust. Don't worry, it's just the balance of power slightly tweaked. I know what you're thinking. I'm not a huge fan of the balance of power either, so we'll see how this goes, but depending on the personal agenda of your leader, and there are several possible leaders, you will get impact on that public trust level. The slider goes up or down depending on which of these agenda topics that you currently control or you've reached. For this guy, if you've eradicated socialism, public trust ticks up weekly. If you haven't, public trust ticks down weekly. So many options, many things that can happen. And as for public trust, this is of course what it looks like. It's just a balance of power. You have various events that influence it, you have focuses that influence it, and you have the standard decisions using political power to influence it. And public trust can go up, it can go down, and there's also a possibility to get rid of your country leader if public trust is too low via the motion of no confidence. In this case, it costs 150 political power. It can get cheaper or more expensive depending on how high trust is. High trust, very expensive. Low trust, relatively cheap. That's the long and short of it. But trust does not only just influence how cheaply it is to get rid of your leader, it also directly affects that nerfed Sisu we saw before. Sisu starts weak, but Sisu can be strong. It is tied not only through focuses, because focuses will influence Sisu as well, but the trust level, the amount of trust the public, the people have in their government, their leader, will strengthen their spirit and will strengthen Sisu directly. So that is pretty cool. And like I said, there will be several leaders available for Finland. Let's take a look at these guys. Yeah, that's quite the mustache. Quite the mustache indeed. Also slightly less interesting mustache, but nice necklace. That's the man, Big G, Carl Gustav Mannerheim. This is the one I want. This man will run my Finland, I can tell you that. And then, well, seems to be here for comedic relief. I don't know if he's historical or not. That is not the face of a man I would trust. So all of these guys with their own personal agendas, their own bonuses, and they will influence the way we play beloved Finland, I say. Of course, country rework means more political advisors. Not going to go too much into detail, but rest assured, Finland will have its share of political advisors, as well as military advisors. So don't worry, Carl Gustav Mannerheim, still here, army defense genius. Yeah, baby. So he'll still do his job. And what would Finland be without its beloved generals? Karl, of course, the field marshal, still there. And many, many, many generals to choose from. And for those of you that were attentive, there's a new icon here called Veteran Jäger. This is a specific trait related to the historical practice of Finnish troops and officers being sent to Germany in World War I to train as Jägers. The German Jägers were very highly respected, light infantry units, blah, 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 blah. In short, this makes your armies even better. That equipment capture ratio is going to... It doesn't look like much, 3%, but trust me, there is more to Finland than this. We are going to end up capturing every single tank, every single Soviet tank that drives into our country. Also, we are going to get so many generals that we won't even be able to use all of them simply because, oh my god, these are all just bonus generals. But we'll never even be able to field an army this large. And I love it. And not just an army, the navy too. We'll get some admirals. I don't think we have a giant fleet, but it's a nice thing. And industry, industrial concerns. Doesn't look like much. Beloved Nokia is there, so there's that. And I think this is what stood out to me. The OO2 Autokumpu. Resource efficiency gain and lack of resource penalties. That sounds dumb or inconsequential, but if you're playing Finland and you're fighting off the might of the Soviet Union, you're gonna love this because it's gonna be incredibly hard to trade. And what would Finland be without its military industrial organizations? I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what any of this means. I kind of skimmed over that little dev diary. If you want to read it, there's a link in this dev diary, but these are ways for Finland's economy tailor itself towards war and all the various production methods. We got some ship stuff, we got some tank stuff, some air stuff, artillery, infantry equipment, all various ways to make Finland just a little bit better, make cheaper stuff, make better stuff. I'm interested in learning more about this. It looks very cool. I just hope it doesn't get too finicky or too fiddly. Don't want too much micromanagement in my game, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes. They've also touched up the map, so these are no longer the provinces we know and love, so historically speaking, much better. I'll reserve judgment until I've actually played this, but looks much better. And this is why you came here, obviously. I know. This is it. This is the redacted Finnish focus tree with our industry in the center, the army to the right, that includes air, land, and sea. And then over here on the left, currently it only has the historical, semi-historical, I guess, a path of non-aligned. So I'm guessing there will be a communist path. There might probably is going to be a non-historical, non-aligned path, a fascist path, the usual. But this is what we have to see right now, and it's looking big. Looking big. Finland's finally getting the love it deserves. Let's dive in. First off, industry. They say that many of these are shorter focuses, so 35 days. I really hope so, because if every one of these is 70 days, I'm not looking forward to it. I'll be honest, even when I play Italy, that has a very strong industrial branch, I skip so much of it because it takes too damn long to get the bonuses that by the time you get those extra factories, they're no longer relevant because I need other stuff now because I'll be fighting a war soon. I don't need more civs. I need mills at this point, or I need to be improving my army spirits. And I just hope that they haven't made this tree a big tree for the sake of having a big tree. I like what I see here. The Nokia tire factory. Love that. We'll see what this does. I just hope enough of these are short focuses. And the first thing they highlight, yeah, free civs, industrial effort, infrastructure, and it's 70 days. Oh, why you have to be like that? Yeah, a lot of these do appear to be 70 days. I see some shorter ones. This is nice. Extra steel, and core pops already producing steel. So yeah, okay, it's okay. These can be powerful. We'll see. We'll see. Also bonuses to those military industrial organizations. So extra truck stuff. Extra truck stuff. Some more recycled materials. Cheaper production cost for trucks. I guess. Yeah. Okay. We'll have to see how impactful that is. But again, 70 days. 70 days. I'm getting skeptical here, guys. I'm a little skeptical. 25% extra heart attack and 100% extra oh boy. The Finnish infantry is going to be... Oh, baby. The Molotov cocktails will flow. Yes. Speaking of Molotov cocktails, the military branch. Again, super extensive. The nice split here between land, sea, and air. Personally, I don't think we'll be focusing much on sea, nor on air. If I'm being honest, it's probably gonna come down to the military army branch, but yeah, we'll see. We've got the Jaeger movement here. Very interesting. Multi-tactics. I have high hopes here. Winter warfare. Are those boys on skis? It looks like boys on skis. All right, let's take a quick look at this army tree here. Mostly comprehensive. I like what I see there with the Jaeger movement. Winter warfare. Those two combined are going to give the Soviets one hell of a ride, along with multi-tactics. Interesting, interesting. I wonder what that means. Salvaged and retooled. Would you look at that? I think we are going to focus heavily on stealing enemy equipment, all the way down to the bottom, where we can either be sissies or have national armor focus. I guess we'll have to choose between tanks or infantry-based armies? Okay, it's a bit of a shame that you have to choose, but Finland is a small country, so can't do everything. Looks very interesting. I just hope many of these are short, because, again, with the Italian focus tree, many of them take so long that I don't even bother and just select a few juicy ones and ignore everything else, which is a shame, because they put a lot of effort into these things. I kind of want to enjoy it. But yeah, it looks like some like this one, Operation Kill Papu. Like, I don't speak Finnish. Please don't kill me. Like this, fairly short, 35 days. Could be worse, could be better. Remilitarize Åland. Apparently Åland has been demilitarized since 1921. Did not know that. Nice. So I guess they'll be changing that. Don't really know why I want to put troops there. It's an irrelevant island. The Mannerheim line, then again, it will take 70 days. Not very hyped about that, but it does offer some interesting bonuses, like additional defense on core territory, like additional local supplies, which for Finland's a big deal, and of course forts. Forts are cool. More forts are good, I guess, for Finland. And we're gonna do some exercises. Yay, another long one. I'm seeing too many 70-day focuses. I'm getting anxious here. But we're getting an army spirit called the Finnish Army, apparently, and all of these focuses will improve the Finnish Army. I'm thinking at the end of this tree, the Finnish Army is gonna be amazing. Small, but amazing. Yeah, going by the effects of stuff like the Jaeger movement, very, very interesting bonuses. I'm afraid we won't be able to see the full result because it will take too damn long. So please don't make all of these 70 days. Yeah, like I expected, salvaged and retooled is going to focus heavily on stealing enemy equipment. Enemy equipment ratio modifier, extra 30%. A 30% conversion speed bonus. So we are going to be stealing a lot of enemy stuff. Like that, it lends itself well to very interesting playstyles. And now we come to the multi-tactics, which I find interesting. Not only does it give you a bonus in terms of your army spirit, yay, more good stuff, it also gives you decisions. And I know decisions are a contentious topic, but this gives you regional decisions that impact a certain province, like the Scorched Earth tactics. That's the one. Click a button and everything in a region for 15 days gets multi-tactics. Everything you get a bonus to, the enemy gets a penalty to. So you're faster, the enemy's slower. You get more supply, the enemy gets less supply. You get less attrition, the enemy gets a lot more attrition, and on top of that, the enemy supply truck attrition goes up as well. So essentially, this is very bad for the enemy. Multi-tactics gonna make them cry for mama. More fun stuff here. Winter warfare. Just more bonuses, of course, but that's not what's really interesting. This unlocks the Winter Logistics Company, and it looks like this is currently limited to Finland, but Finland's the only country we've seen, so this can be expanded to everybody else. We'll see the DLCs here. Winter Logistics Company adds a massive defense bonus. Some other bonuses as well, but a massive defense bonus plus a massive cold acclimatization gain factor. So this makes your units good in snow, good in cold, and good on the defense. So and attack. Good. Overall, for Finland, great. But Finland gets more. If you do other stuff, you get access to the long-range patrol company, basically an upgraded version of recon. So this is just better recon, maybe more expensive recon, but hope baby, hope baby. Finland is going to be very specialized in terms of its army. It's going to be small, but elite as hell. And if you wonder what CC does, it's not just a princess or a slur. It also gives you Lauri Torni as a general. Please do yourself a favor and Google Lauri Torni or Larry Thorne. Google that man. You will go down the rabbit hole. Please Google him. Look up his wiki page. Massive benefits to the Finns. This is great. This is all around. Finland's getting boosted out the wazoo. Finland's getting so many buffs. I just hope we can actually get all of them. Or at least most of them. And less interesting, but still here. In Air Force Tree, it's a little less expansive. So, okay, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what this does. We'll get some fighter wings. We'll get some aces. Yeah, it's okay. I'm not super hyped, but research bonuses, military factories, bonuses to MIOs, military industrial organizations, and some templates. We'll see what it does. And Navy. Navy also gets a tree, and historically, naval trees haven't really seen much action. Historically, the Finnish Navy did quite well, considering its teeny tiny size and budget. But yeah, I doubt the Navy is where Finland's gonna shine. No, I think the big one here is the land tree, but it does have some interesting stuff here. Well, for one, it gets, for some reason, the Navy stuff gets you a bonus to railway guns, okay? But it will also give you the option to refit civilian ships for military service. So it will give you, I think, worse versions of destroyers by converting 10 convoys into a destroyer or a cruiser, if I'm reading the tooltip here right. The next one down is refit ships to cruise. I'm expecting that to be cruisers. So a way for Finland to get ships quickly, even if they're slightly worse than the standard versions. We'll have to wait and see. Like, these look like refitted coastal defense ships, refitted cruisers, refitted destroyers. So we'll have to see just how Finland gets its hands on these, but they look really cheap for at least usable ships, right? Another one you've all been waiting for, the political branch. Unfortunately, this is not the alt history stuff, though we do see some Greater Finland down here. I see a Greater Finland. Looks fairly standard, as you'd expect. Finland does its things. It's got some national unity stuff going on there. It can synergize with the allies if you're democratic enough. You can form the Northern Defense Front with your with your Nordic brothers, who historically abandoned Finland to its fate. Looking at you, Sweden. Or we go the Lone Wolf, which sounds kind of badass, but it requires cooperation with Germany, as they did historically. So we'll see. I think I'm gonna enjoy the Finnish March of Conquest and Greater Finland, personally. And as they write in the dev diary itself, like, the top part is going to be mainly focused on ideological support, unlocking advisors, some balance of power stuff, and stability bonuses. And the further down you go, you really lock, at least to steer your country towards a certain path. On the left here, bit of industry, that leads down to these three options, where we have the Kokomus, that gives you these bonuses. Like, again, please forgive me for butchering the names. I have no idea how to pronounce all of this. Yeah, I am very much looking forward to strengthening my military administration with Carl Gustav Mannerheim. And dreaming of expansionism is a beloved pastime of myself. Yeah, this is gonna go great. Oh, this one reduces the cost of taking states off the Soviet Union. Oh, baby, we make Finland big. Ooh, and that Lone Wolf thing that I saw there, oh, that's gonna make it interesting. Cannot create or join a faction. That really locks you into going it alone. I think I'm gonna like that one, because no allies means there's nobody there to screw things up for you. And despite being on our own, we can still cooperate with Germany, so it's like all the secret sauce stuff where we're not in the same faction, but we're fighting the same war, but we can bail out should we need to, like they did historically. Okay, we'll see where this goes. Oh, look at that. Finnish March of Conquest, division recovery rate, attack against major countries 10%, breakthrough against major countries 10%. This looks like, does seem from their description, for a limited period of time, that this is gonna be like a temporary bonus, so you want to hold on to it until you're ready for for your counterattack. Oh, I like what this... Oh, I'm very excited for this tree. Also, less interesting stuff. You can set up weapon caches in your core states so that when you lose the territory, you get a whole lot of resistance to the enemy. Ideally, of course, we would not be giving up territory, but hey, sometimes you just gotta. And on the right here, a cry for help, which is a pretty cool logo. It's free manpower. 365 days of free weekly manpower. This is definitely gonna help you. I know that they've blurred this image. They have specifically blurred other focus that this is mutually exclusive with, but Paradox, you forgot to blur the text, and I'm just gonna point it out now. Please don't hit me with a ban hammer for this. It's mutually exclusive with Seek German Protection. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that seeking German protection either puts us in the Axis, and we're gonna go full fascist, baby, or even worse, it makes us an Axis puppet, a German puppet. I am very interested now to see what you're hiding from me, Paradox, but Finland is getting the love it deserves. It can go every which way. A cry for help though, like Finland does have massive manpower issues, and this is definitely gonna help. Even if it's just for 365 days, yeah. Also, request Swedish assistance in war. Sweden better man up this time and come through. And this text has me, and the image below the text has me very much looking forward to trying this out. Ambitions in the south will grant claims in the rest of the Baltic countries, and the final focus of the branch, Greater Finland, will, among other irrelevant things such as granting some cores and a couple of claims on Soviet states, make Finland even more white on the map. I like that we're even more white, but look at all the territory we will be able to take. Estonia's gone, baby. It's just Greater Finland, so we're doing that reverse that Estonia can do with its own focus tree. And Finnish Sweden here. Oh yeah. Finnish Norway up there. Oh yeah, baby. I'm gonna go conquering with Finland, no doubt. And lastly, we're taking a look at the Winter War. There are some events specifically tied to the Winter War, and this one starts the whole shebang. We're gonna get a massive bonus to mobilization. Massive. Pretty big bonus to recruitable population, winter attrition, and defense, so Finland will be able to really hold its own if everything is done well. Finland can put up a fight. Not only that, and I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but it looks like pushing back the Soviets and taking either Leningrad or Moscow, something tells me I'll be in Leningrad way before I'll be in Moscow, will allow us to start or demand peace negotiations. I hope the Soviets can be influenced in either accepting or denying that, because I don't like flipping a coin. But if we also control Murmansk, Onega, and Olonets, so that is like the Kola Peninsula, we can also demand those states. Yes! Finally, something for Finland to win in the Winter War. Look at that. If the Soviets say yes, and you control Murmansk, Onega, and Olonets, congratulations, white peace with the Soviets and more land. However, it turns out the Soviets can say no at a very massive cost to themselves. The AI is fickle, and they might just prefer to shoot themselves in the foot, left kidney, liver, and chest before they will give you an inch of happiness. So I don't know if this can be influenced in any way by the player. We'll have to wait and see what the code says. And of course, some events. They're gonna go all in with a flavor. Evacuation of children. I would like to evacuate my kids, yeah, if they were being bombed. The dancing ban, absolutely. Dancing must be banned. No happiness allowed. And of course, some artwork, fresh icons for the Finns. Ooh, I like his greatcoat. More 3D artwork. Look at that! A new... a repurposed BT-7 where we just slapped on a truck bed, and congratulations, we now have a troop transport. It's much better than trucks. I wanna know what's even better than trucks or troop carriers? Sleds! This is a ski mobile. Look at it. The trucks have a ski mobile icon. I love it. Oh, anyway, that is the end of this dev diary. I am looking very much forward to seeing what else they have on offer. Next DLC is coming, boys. Finland is getting the tree they deserve. Let me know in the comments what you are hoping to see, how you're feeling about this initial reveal, and let me know if you want me to keep covering these dev diaries, and I hope to be here for the next one as well. Next one is Sweden. Anyway, that's been enough rambling for me. See you guys later.